Hello, and I'm back with part two of the story time about the neighbors were against me and my family. Long time ago. So, on one particular day, on one particular day, one of the neighbors was sitting on my mom's car. The neighbors that didn't like us, and then their kids was wrapping toilet paper around my mom's car. So my mom had told me to go outside and look and see who it is. And we didn't call the police immediately. And my mom had got up and went to the door, and she told the neighbor and those kids, get off my motherfucking car. So her and the neighbor was going back and forth, and then the kid had pointed a finger at me and at her. It was just a mess. So on another day, the neighbors were the neighbors who didn't like us, who lived next door to us, got into it with my mom, and they was arguing back and forth. I went in the house and I grabbed a butcher's knife because it was 3 women who was thought that they was gonna try to jump my mom, and I wasn't gonna just stand by and not do nothing. So it was just an argument. It was an argument. And after the argument was over, then the police was called. But this time around, the neighbors had called the police on us, my mom, and myself. And they told the police that I had a knife, which I did. And they said that my mom had threw something at them, which was a lie. Again, on this day, just because they had more witnesses, the neighbors, who we didn't get along with, who lived next door to us, the police believed them over us. So it was just a mess. I can only name about 2 times when the neighbors that we called the police and the police was on our side. Only 2 times. The rest of the time the police was on their side. I couldn't understand it. It was nothing but the work of the devil, because it shouldn't matter if you have 10 people on this side who's saying that we're lying. They didn't do anything, and then it's just me and my mom. So there was a lot to go through back in 1999 and the year 2000. There was a lot to go through. There was a lot to go through. A whole lot. And every time I think about it, I just get mad. Because for one, I was very young at the time. I was around 21 and 22. One guy that I dated in the same apartment complex, he was associating with the ops, which was the neighbors who didn't like us. And then another guy, well, I didn't date him. The only thing that he and I did was hook up. he was friends with the ops. He was friends with the neighbors, but it's like he was never really at home because he had a job at Kroger's. But yeah. That's why anytime I feel like nowadays that I have to call the police on some neighbors, I always get that flashback of every time that back in the day when the police was called on the neighbors. There's not a lot of the times when the police got on our side. And they used to always say, just like they said, they even say this shit to this day. If you can get them on video doing something to your car, or if you can get them on video kicking your door and whatnot, and then we would rule in your favor, but you shouldn't even have to do all that, because who's going to do something if they know that you have a camera recording, a camera in your hand recording whatever is going to happen? Nobody is really going to do anything. It's always unexpected when some shit happens. But that is what they used to say. If you can only just have a video recording of these people doing stuff to y'all. But yeah, that is the end of this story time about the neighbors were against my family and I. There are several incidents that happened, but that is all I'm going to talk about today, because I'm getting mad all over again just thinking about it. But yeah, these things that happened a long time ago are very, very true. Even though I was only 22 back then, I remember stuff as if it were yesterday. But yeah, it happened. But I'm going to end this video for now. And I will come back with another video later on. Right now I have to cook. Until then, y'all